What's up? It's Sunday. We're here in Pablo's car. Sundays are pretty casual for us. We just grabbed some coffee. We're off to go look at a house because we always like to stay on top of what's going on in the marketplace as far as real estate goes.
Yeah, a lot of what we do is just kind of, Tyler, what was that quote that you mentioned the other day?
We don't have a demand problem, we have a supply problem. And so the biggest thing we like to go out and do is figure out what's the supply, because maybe things are overpriced or they don't quite look as good in the pictures. And we want to look at what the supply is on the market, understand it so that we can send it out to our clients.
Yeah, so a big thing too is just like, I think we both have, overlapping clients too, but just people that are looking overall in Scottsdale and having a true understanding of where the market is going in specific sections. So Scottsdale's this very unique opportunity where we're kind of landlocked, like you can't really
100%.
build around it. So whatever exists is always fluctuating in different ways. So like you have Cactus Corridor that's blowing up right now. You have PV that's been doing it for a while, and then you kind of have to keep up with the redevelopment of places.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what we do on the weekends, on Sundays.
And then, like you said, the redevelopment, that's a weird thing a lot of people may not understand outside of Arizona, but like Pablo said, we're landlocked. So because we can't build east with the reservation, and we can't build north really because it's already been developed, south and west have also been developed, we're taking existing lots, scraping them, rebuilding new houses on top. And so finding those lots and land opportunities are super important for us and in our business.
Yeah. So right now, one of the houses that we're going to check out today, you'll see it here in a little bit, but we thought it was actually a really good fit for the car show people, like people that are car enthusiasts. So we thought, let's just start recording and we'll film this one while we're at it.
Perfect. So we'll jump to a clip right here where we're at the house.
Here at Hayden and Cactus, and the reason we decided to actually pick this house to go look at is we saw it pop up on the market. It's $2.5 million, 4-bed, 5-bath. Beautiful home, backyard's even better. Best part is over there where it's a 2,500 square foot garage that we're about to show you, and we think it's perfect for the people that come to the car show and anyone that's a car enthusiast. Come take a look.
So we're here at this house. It's a little bit dated, we aren't gonna lie. But the biggest thing Pablo and I look for when we're looking for clients is the location. There's two things you can't change, the location and the lot size. And with this, you get both of them. Now the house with some clean oak flooring, maybe a different color and a renovated kitchen, you're gonna get a completely different look. But the biggest thing, like we said, emphasizing is the lot and the location, and this home knocks it out of the park. So let's go take a look at why we think this is a great buy.
So we've mentioned it a couple times, but the lot is definitely the highlight of this house. We're sitting on 34,000 square feet, which is right over 3/4 of an acre. This is really hard to replicate. The amount of grass, the pool, everything like that, it's hard to come by in Scottsdale. And to really emphasize it, take a look at that structure. It's 2,500 square feet. It looks like nothing in comparison to the rest of what we're sitting on.
Now that we're in this garage, you can really get an idea for the scale. You could easily fit three car stackers over there. That's at least 9 cars in this garage. But then you have plenty of space. I mean, where am I gonna fit my Bugatti, my Pagani, and everything else? I gotta sell a few more houses for that. But anyways, going through, as you can see, you've got central vac all throughout. You also have an AV system with a full workbench for everything you need. You've also got the TV. Now, your wife is gonna be mad if you've been wrenching on cars all day, so you've gotta come in and wash your clothes with this in-unit washer and dryer. Now, over here, you're gonna be stinky and smelly because you live in that Arizona heat. So it's time to shower up. But let's check out upstairs where we've got a beautiful balcony looking over everything.
Came upstairs to the hangout space for the shop. It's a perfect spot to look over the garage, take a look at your collection, any projects that you're working on. And to add on to that, you can come out to the balcony, look over the property, if you have your kids playing outside, anything like that, or even take a look at the McDowell Mountain Range. It's a beautiful place to spend some time.
So just finished up at that great house. What do you think about it?
I loved it. I think it's got a lot of potential. I would want to do a lot to the inside of the house.
Definitely.
But the lot, like we mentioned repeatedly, is just unmatched. Like close to an acre in Scottsdale it's a really unique opportunity, I think. And then especially for some of the guys that come to the show.
On that, what are your thoughts on what's gonna go on? Because we often get that question, $2.5 million for a property like that, acre in Scottsdale. is it justified? Do you think the prices are going to go up? Do you think they're going to drop?
I think we're gonna go into this pretty stable market. That being said, I don't think anyone knows exactly what's gonna happen, but just based off of what we're seeing, I think inventory's rising a little bit, but people are still eating up houses. I don't think there's anything coming up that could make a huge fluctuation. Like as we know, elections are coming up. Sure, there could be fear beforehand. I think no matter who gets elected, there's not going to be much change.
Yeah. No.
Especially from what we've seen historically. I think you made a video on that. What do you think?
I would tend to agree. I think that there's obviously the potential of things to change, whether it goes up a little bit or down a little bit. But like we've talked about, it's price point dependent. I think the higher end markets are going to see a little bit of a decline. But around that $1 million price point, I think they stay because, you know, we've just bumped up the conventional loan limit to $800,000, so that means a 20% down. You can buy $1 million home. Very typical home in Scottsdale is around $1 million. So you've got a lot more buyers in that department, and we can't increase supply on it.
Yeah.
So,
I think a big thing is, I mean, the supply is going to play into this, but the replacement value.
yeah.
Like we've seen construction costs and like renovation costs go up so much that there's not this like fear that I think you and I had in the past of like when they were building a ton, you didn't really know what direction the neighborhood was going in or if a person was buying it just to turn it around and go for profit. Right now what we're seeing is the people buying, for the most part, are going to live in it. They're going to live in it or renovate it and do it themselves, but it's not really like as many investors in the market. It's mainly people that want their forever home and they're finally getting back in and hopping in. I think that's really healthy for the market to not see these random fluctuations that we've been seeing for the past 4 years.
Yeah, because before it was people going into maybe a neighborhood at 400,000. They were dropping 300,000 into the house and trying to sell it for 700,000, but there was no homes around it. It was a very, very odd market. But the thing is, these houses were selling. Now things have leveled out, and it just feels normal, which is good. But you had talked about replacement cost. That's another reason I don't think prices are going to drop, because before you could build a house for, let's say, $350 a square foot for a decent house. That same house is going to cost you $550, $600 a square foot. So where do those buyers go? Well, they go to what's already existing.
Yeah. I do think right now a unique opportunity we're seeing, and I think we've started noticing it more because of that cost to build or cost to renovate. People are starting to get the finished product for a better deal. Yep. Like I don't think there's that many people going out there and being like, okay, I can do this myself and save myself a ton of money.
Yep.
You're actually getting a better deal
100%.
if you get a finished home, because the price gap's not that big, and I think it's a really good opportunity for people that want somewhere where you just move in. Maybe your kids are growing up and you don't want to be like waiting on a kitchen to be finished.
Exactly. And back to, I know we keep beating the dead horse, but you aren't buying a house, you're buying the land. At least in Scottsdale. We can't speak on any other markets outside of that. Well, the Scottsdale Phoenix market, we can't speak on like Texas or California, but at least here, the land value is what's important. So if I were to go out and say buy a $3 million house, that land could be $2 million, but for me to build the house on top of it, it could cost me another $2 million. So in total, I'm in $4 million, or I could buy the next door neighbor's house completely finished for $3 million.
Yeah.
And so I think over the next year or so, buyers, sellers, they shouldn't be scared. I think they should just know that things are likely going to be about the same.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think, I mean, there's always going to be, if you look up real estate news, you can find one article that says there's going to be a huge downfall and it's coming up.
Yep.
It's imminent. And then the next article is praising that there's going to be a 5% like hike or whatever. This is honestly just our opinion based off of what we're seeing.
Yep.
Last couple of years, like we've seen, it's continued to appreciate pretty stably. Like we've seen 3 to 5%, stuff like that, depending on the neighborhood. I just don't see anything changing that.
And with the interest rates went up, and guess what? Supply was still at a low.
Yeah.
And so what does that show us? Well, if interest rates drop and those people can afford more, what's going to happen with those prices? I'm not going to say they're going to go up, but supply and demand, it's a very simple equation on that end of things.
If anything, a lot of the buyers that were sitting on the sidelines might be able to hop in now and get a better house. What we've seen, inventory is going up a little bit, but I think a lot of it is from people that were locked into a mortgage that they couldn't resist, like, staying in.
Yep.
And now that they're coming down a little bit, they're like, okay, I can bite the bullet on maybe upsizing, and the interest rate's not going to kill me now that it's a little more stable.
Or even downsizing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they're in $1 million house, and to downsize into a $500,000 house, they've got the same payment. Yeah. So it just didn't make sense for them.
Yeah, so now a lot of the houses that are coming on the market, I think you could see it as like, okay, there's inventory back. But no, those people are going to buy. It's not necessarily like they're throwing it up there and they're taking the equity. It's like, no, they're just moving.
Exactly.
It's all the life changes that happened in the last 4 years, they can finally adjust to.
Yep.
And they've been waiting for that.
So overall, if you feel like you fit in that category of somebody who's considering it, we're here to help. Let's make fun out of it. We can go out, hang out. Don't feel like we're unapproachable, whether you're first-time home buyer or selling your lifelong home. We're here to help. We've done it all, and we're always a phone call away.
Or if you think differently, just hit us up. Like, we want to talk about it. Like, even Tyler and I will disagree on this stuff and then just kind of go back and forth, and that's 100%. What we do.
Yep.
We'd be happy to have a conversation about it, and maybe you guys teach us something or vice versa, and it's a fun time.
Exactly. Because neither of us are economists, and even if we were, you get two economists in a car, they both disagree.
Exactly.
So it's always fun to have a good conversation.
Yeah.
But until next time, always thank you for coming out to Lux Cars and Coffee, and thanks for watching.
Appreciate you guys.